Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Satnam, welcome back to the channel. My name is Gobind, and this is your Channel for Grace. Thank you guys so much for being here live. And thank you to those of you that are watching the replay. We're going to talk today about the solar eclipse that's happening in Libra on October 14th through the lens of human design. So we're going to talk about the gate that the sun and the moon are going to be on when the eclipse is happening. And then we're also going to talk about the gate that the north and the south node are in to help us understand this eclipse through this lens of human design. So I always recommend that you have your human design chart ready so you can see if some of these energies are activated within your chart, if you have some channels that are becoming completed within your charts. This is a really fun and can be an interactive reading if you have your chart in front of you. So before I dive into the human design reading, I do want to say thank you again for being here. Hello, Mama O. Hello, Jeanette. Welcome in. If you're watching live, then say hi in the chat so I can say hi back. And please give this video a thumbs up. Please share it out on social media. Make sure that you subscribe if you are new and you are enjoying the content, and that you hit the notification bell so you get notified of when I go live and when I upload videos. And we have a lot of cool things happening in our global community. Come join our private space. It's a bit like a Facebook. You get a feed and there's chats, group chats and different spaces. And right now we're hosting the Miracle Morning 30-day practice. It's completely free to join. We officially begin on October 14th on the day of the eclipse, which is obviously a very intentional day. And the 30-day practice involves basically these 6 different things that we're going to be doing on our own, but as a group together every morning at the same time. Hello, Valerie. Hello, Raessa. Welcome in. So, and hello, Ariel. So good to see you. Okay, so the practices are, the first thing we do is the Lost Kriya of Yogi Bhajan. That's our exercise. We do that. It's like about a 12-minute kriya. Then we go into recapitulation, which I'm going to share some books that I'm currently reading. I don't know why today. I just felt really drawn to do that. And then we do journaling. And then after that, we do an energy clearing visualization. we move into our affirmations, and we finish off with reading. So if you need some inspiration, we actually are hosting our first session of the book club circle also in the global community, also free to join. We're going to be reading the book Rise, Sister Rise by Rebecca Campbell, which is such a beautiful and inspirational book. But I also wanted to share some of the books that I've been reading. So this first one is called, these are sorcery books. So if you're like into sorcery, yes. Being and Dreaming. If you have never heard of Carlos Castaneda and Don Juan Matus and the teachings of Don Juan and all of those books, I'm actually reading, I'm on the 5th book. I'm reading the entire series from beginning to end. In the last couple of weeks, I've listened to on Audible 4 of the books, and I'm on the 5th one, which is called The Second Ring of Power. They are like pretty wild, but just it is so my vibe. So anyways, Being and Dreaming by Florinda Donner. Florinda Donner, the longtime colleague and fellow dream traveler of Carlos Castaneda, offers a riveting autobiographical account of her halting, sometimes unwilling, often bewildering initiation into the world of being and dreaming. At turns spellbinding, mysterious, and humorous, Being and Dreaming is ultimately an unforgettable spiritual adventure. And when you read the books of Carlos Castaneda, they talk about how there's 2 types of sorcerers. One of them are called the dreamers, and the other ones are called the stalkers. Well, this one's about the initiation of someone into the dreamer group. So it's really cool. And it's basically a lot about like things like tapping into the Akashic. If you put it in modern terms, it's like reading the Akashic, tapping into the Akashic, basically noticing like the dreams in your sleep and also able to dream while you're awake. I mean, it's just really cool. Astral travel. I mean, all that stuff. Really awesome book to read. I'm reading this one as well right now. This author also wrote another book called The Witch's Dream, which is a renowned student of Don Juan Matus, Florinda Donner, entered the world of spiritual healing as an anthropologist. And this is kind of the similar story with all of these guys. But her involvement soon deepened into something far more personal. This is the extraordinary account of her experiences with Doña Mercedes, an aged healer in a remote Venezuelan town known for its population of spiritualists, sorcerers, and mediums. Working as Doña Mercedes' apprentice, Florinda witnesses firsthand the power and beauty of true healing. At the same time, she comes to know many people who approach Doña Mercedes for help. Interwoven with their haunting stories is Florinda's dramatic tale of self-discovery. For it is through her encounters with these people that she becomes aware of her own spiritual powers and of the remarkable gift her presence brings to an old healer. Another really good one. And holy shit, my favorite book of all time. I read it a long time ago and then it got like major water damage. Like I've had these 2 books for years and this 3rd one like disappeared because I had to actually throw it away. And I just bought it I have forgotten about it, but I just bought it again on Amazon and it arrived today, and it was like playing a game with me because I kept going to the post office and it was like, oh, it's not here yet. And they're like, wait, what? It says it's here. And she's like, oh no, it's not here yet. Like maybe tomorrow or maybe the next day. And I'm like, oh my God. So I literally went to the post office 3 times to go get this book. And on the 3rd time, I finally got it, which I think is like, it's just perfect. Anyways, this book is called The Sorcerer's Crossing by Taisha Abelar, A Woman's Journey. The true story of a woman's initiation into a reality beyond the boundaries of the normal, everyday world. Some 20 years ago, anthropologist Carlos Castaneda electrified millions of readers by describing his initiation under the tutelage of the Yaqui Indian brujo, Don Juan, into an alternate reality. Now, Taisha Abelar, who was taught by the female members of Don Juan's group, recounts her own crossing in this arresting book. While traveling in Mexico, Abelar became involved with a group of sorcerers and began a rigorous physical and mental training process designed to enable her to breach the limits of ordinary perception. The Sorcerer's Crossing details that process, giving us a highly practical sense of the responsibilities and perils that face a woman sorcerer. Abelar's enthralling story is invaluable as a virtual sorcerer's manual, as anthropology, and as a provocative work of women's spirituality. So, yes. I'm in freaking heaven. It's kind of crazy. But anyways, today I felt really drawn to share these books with you. So hopefully somebody gets inspired and it's like, what's Jai doing? She's reading fucking sorcery books. Hello, welcome in. Okay. So now we can dive into this human design reading. And what I need to do first is share the iPad on the screen. So give me 1 second while I get this all connected. But anyways, what did you guys think about those books? Let me know in the chat while I find the share code. So you guys can actually see the chart also on the screen. And I do hope that you guys have your human design chart in front of you, because it is going to help you understand how this moon and solar eclipse is affecting you in a very personal way. All right, here we go. So here's the chart of this moon. How's the Wi-Fi? Should be okay, but I'm seeing it's kind of jumpy. Hopefully you guys can hear me. If you can hear me, then we're good. So let's take a look at this chart. I was looking at this chart earlier to try to see what is, Ariel says, I've been checked out watching sorcery stories all week. This is so, what? Oh my God, that's hilarious. But I was watching this chart earlier today, and this is a chart of the solar eclipse, and technically, well, when you do a transit reading, you don't look at the design side because, and this is what I mean, there's these two sides, one is red and one is black. The red side, the design side, which correlates to all of the red lines in the chart, is actually the subconscious energy, and it relates to the body of an actual person with this chart. But because, actually, these 3 books are not on Audible. That's the only thing. But anyways, yeah, that's why I had to get these in hard copy, but the Carlos Castaneda ones are all on Audible. Anyways, basically you don't look at the red lines at all. You just disregard them because this doesn't have a body. No, like a transit doesn't have a body, and only an actual person would have a design side, therefore a body. So we just look at the black lines, and there's quite a few activations of the planets, but I wanted to talk about 2 particular ones that are very significant, and they are right down here towards the bottom of the chart. We have the sun and the moon and the north node on the 32nd gate, and then we have the south node on the 42nd gate. So we're looking at the spleen center and we're looking at the sacral center. And these 2 energies are about instinctual intuition, in the moment awareness. The spleen is an awareness center. And then the sacral center is about energy and life force energy, channeling the life force of the universe. And this would pertain to generators and manifesting generators if you have it defined. Or if you have it undefined, it just means that you're either a manifestor, a projector, or a reflector. So either way, these 2 energies are interesting because you've got one activating life force energy and the other one activating awareness in the moment. That's kind of cool when you think about what, this is an eclipse, and eclipses are moments of revolution and changes. And in order to really move through this energy in a successful way, as we say, it takes us understanding what these gates are all about and why is it so important to look at these gates. So we're going to start with a deep dive into the 30-second gate. I'll actually leave this like this because you can see that the 30-second gate connects to the 54th gate and it creates the channel of transformation. So the 30-second gate is called the gate of continuity. It's also a word that describes this energy as duration. The quick reference theme is people with an inborn instinct for the true value of anything or anyone. I think that's beautiful. Description. Archetypally, this gate represents the financial manager of the entrepreneurial 54. These people have a nose for the value of both things and people. They are also very conservative by nature, knowing that restraint ensures continuity and long-term success. The fear of this gate is the fear of failure, which is the same fear as the gene key, which is what makes these people so conservative. However, it is conservatism that ensures continuity and health, not only for the individual, but for the community or business. The 32nd potentially knows what can or cannot be transformed successfully and acts as the brake on the drive of the 54, which is the gate of ambition. The 32nd always needs the driving spark of the 54, and without it, the 32 asks, will I ever have the drive or ambition? So does anybody have this gate defined in their chart? I also wanted to talk about, before we talk about the 54 and the channel of transformation, the circuitry of this channel altogether. It's the tribal circuit. And the tribal circuit is about the tribe, the community, and being very close-knit and being very protective of the group or the tribe. And so that's why it's like this energy of this tribal circuit has to do with making sure that the tribe continues moving forward, right? Making sure that things work and that we keep like reproducing and that we have enough food and that we are, bringing in the abundance, the bread, and making sure that everyone is, playing their part and their role. And there's also a role in the tribal circuit of like who's allowed into the circle and who's not allowed into the circle. So this is a very protective energy. And so I feel that this is activating within each and every one of us that tribal energy of like, I want to protect my group. I want to protect my family. I want to protect my people. And so this can also be a bit of a defensive energy as well. And then it talks here about being very conservative. Like we can't just waste all this, we need to be very careful about how we're doing things and what we're using and how much we're using of it and what we're giving and what we're getting. And so it's very, in a way, it thinks a lot about how to keep the momentum going and the balance that it takes to really keep that momentum going in a community. So we're all feeling this in our own individual lives. Now, if you have the 54, tell me in the chat. Raessa has the 54. This means Jeanette has the channel already activated. So if you have the 54, the channel of transformation will be completed. If you have the 32, this energy will magnify in your chart for the eclipse. It'll kind of bring more of a light into it. And if you have the whole channel, it's going to highlight this energy in your chart. So whatever flows from that space, you will be more aware of it. If it's a personality side energy, and maybe not so aware, but it'll really come through and other people will see it in you if it's a design side energy. So the 54th gate is the gate of ambition, the marrying maiden. These are people with a limitless drive to be materially successful. This gate represents the drive to move up the social ladder and attain higher status. It also represents material ambition and the drive to make money. These people are the driving forces within the community, and in particular, the business community. And again, this is tribal circuitry, so see the same theme, but a different aspect of that tribal energy. The archetype of this gate is the concubine who rises up in the hierarchy to finally become the empress. These people are always trying in some way to catch the attention of someone higher up in the hierarchy. This also applies at a mystical level. On its own, the 54 is a blind urge to achieve a certain end. It needs the conservatism and instinct of the 32 to channel its ambitious drive into something lasting and of value. So if you have the 54, what's really cool is that the channel will be completed by this eclipse. And what are you going to feel? The channel of transformation, a design of being driven. You have within you the capacity and drive to attain any distant goal. However, you cannot get to your goal without the correct allies in life to support you. Ideally, you need to wait for your allies to recognize you for your momentous drive rather than you trying to find them. This is also known as the channel of encouragement. These people are here to transform raw energy into something that endures. It is about transforming hard work into material success. These people have the sensitivity and balance, vigor with restraint, creating any expert enterprise or business that can always sustain itself. This channel is about time, money, value, business, and bargaining. These people can always evaluate whether the time and effort spent is worth the money earned. Because of this, these people know how to recognize someone else's worth as well as their own, and they are always willing to bargain with others to get their own and others' needs met. These people have a deep need to be materially successful and are willing to work very hard for recognition. Ideally, they are looking to move up the hierarchy, and this usually happens through them making the correct contacts. When these people do not value themselves or their place in the community properly, they can become workaholics. Okay, so Valerie has a 32. Yeah, so you're either going to have the 32, and if you have the 54, you're going to have the channel is going to feel like it's complete. So this means that during that time, you will feel like you have a defined root and a defined spleen, in case you don't have either of those defined. But what this says is that you will feel and should 100% listen to the information that is coming through in the moment, your instinctual awareness. This is not intuition that gets processed through like sudden insights, and you need to listen to them because they won't repeat themselves. And that's what's really important about feeling like the spleen is defined during this period of time. If you have the 54, then it is listening to those sudden insights and instinctual awareness and intuition. It comes through in flashes. People with splenic authority know exactly what I'm talking about. It's in the moment, and if you don't listen, it'll go away and it won't come back, and you won't be able to come back to like, what was that message? What was it that happened? What did I feel like was supposed to happen? It's like you can't undo ignoring the intuition of the spleen. You can't undo that. So it's kind of crazy. And the other thing that's really significant is that the north node is on the 42nd gate. So basically what we have, if I go back to this image right here and we look up here, we've got the sun and the moon on the 32.1, and then the south node also on the 32, but it's at 0.5. And then the north node is on the 42nd gate. So 32, 42 are programming partners. They're exactly opposite each other in the astrological chart. You have the 32nd gate is in Libra and the 42nd gate is in Aries. So this is an Aries-Libra duality that is being activated by this eclipse. That's why it's an eclipse, because the sun and the moon are close to the nodes. That's how you know, right? And being opposing each other is a perfect example of this. So we have to also look at the 42nd gate, which if we go back over here, is in the sacral center. So I'm going to pull that up. But as I do, I want to mention that this 42nd gate is very significant because it is a part of a formatting channel. And the fact that the North Node is on the 42nd gate, it is formatting us right now for this eclipse, meaning this energy takes precedence over like anything else that's going on right now. Pluto and the North Node are doing that because Pluto's on the 60th gate, which is another formatting gate. So, but we're just going to focus on the 42nd gate. So what is the 42nd gate? It's known as the gate of growth. Like, how beautiful is it that the North Node is on the gate of growth? It's increase as well. It's people with an imperative to always finish what they have begun. These people are under tremendous pressure to finish everything they begin and have the power and commitment to follow any endeavor all the way through to the end. Being people who like to see things through to the end, they are often uncomfortable with new beginnings and the inevitable difficulties that accompany them. These people can often feel as if they are stuck in cycles that never seem to end, such as a childhood pattern or recurring themes in relationships. To avoid this, they always need to allow things to come to a natural conclusion rather than force a premature ending. They need the energy of the 53 to provide the initiating spark. Only then can they apply their staying power to a process. So in the chat, if you have the 53rd, please put it in. And if you do, you are going to have the channel of maturation activated in your chart, a design of balanced development. So it's like growth. It's like moving forward, right? And how does maturation happen? Through experiences. Okay, so cool. So Raessa has the 54 and the 53, meaning these two channels will be completed by the eclipse for you. So I'll be curious to know how you experience this energy this weekend. Quick reference theme. Every time you begin something new, be very cautious. Once you have committed yourself to an endeavor, you have a genetic imperative to complete it. If you do not follow it to its natural conclusion, you will only meet the same problem again later in another form. These people live lives dominated by repeating cycles that bring them gradually and steadily to a state of maturity and wisdom. They are here to embody the wisdom that all life is a journey that never ends. They are not here to be goal-oriented, but rather to learn to appreciate all the rich experiences of the journey itself. Such people can become deeply attuned to the cycles of life, planetary cycles, body cycles, historical cycles, etc., as well as having a deep affinity with the past. Whatever these people begin in life must be finished. All projects, relationships, experiences must therefore be entered into clearly and correctly. Otherwise, these people find that they either have to wait for a cycle to naturally end, usually 7 years, or they jump out prematurely and face the same pattern all over again in a different experience. The cyclical format energy governs the whole of the sensing circuit, and this channel will condition all other definitions in the body graph to operate according to a cyclic process. That's what I'm talking about. It's a formatting channel. Ariel says, I have the 42, but nothing else. So just an amplified feeling of needing to let things go, of repeating patterns that help me into maturity. Well, it's the gate of growth. So it's the desire to finish what you started. And the only way that that can happen is if you go through the experience and you commit, right? So it's really about, I feel, committing to what you begin. So that's what you're going to feel if you just have this 42 activation. But this is the sensing circuit. And the sensing circuit is what is really kind of taking precedence over the energy of this eclipse. What does that mean? That means that we are doing a deep reflection of the past, and only by looking back at the past can we understand it. You don't know the meaning of something when it's in the sensing circuit until after it happens. But we're at this point right now where this is a South Node eclipse, and we are being invited throughout the axis of the nodes to reflect on what has already happened, and then gain the insight and use that insight by looking back at the past to recreate or to recommit, right, to something new. Like, how cool is that? Learning from the past so that we recommit to our future. So we have the gate of continuity and the gate of growth kind of in this powerful opposition within the astrology, and communicating with each other, right? North Node, South Node, destiny and karma and past lives and healing past, excuse me, and healing past things. I know, right? And we are committing to our Miracle Morning 30-day practice that starts on this day. So be careful, because once you start, you have to finish. That's what this says. So new moon eclipses are for setting intentions that will naturally revolutionize our lives and change things very, dramatically. With the 32nd energy, we're looking to continue the growth, to keep it moving. What do we need to keep things moving so that they don't die out, so that they don't stop? That's what that's asking. It's like, how do you keep it moving? We need to conserve. We need to save money. We need to make sure that we have all the things that we need. We need to be aware of like how much we're, giving and taking. And then on the other side, the North Node is guiding us towards, the future, which is the gate of growth, which says, get ready to start something new, but be careful what you set in motion, because you have to finish it. You're looking to finish it. Isn't that freaking epic? I mean, this is so beautiful. And I love how the astrology and the gene keys and the human design kind of add a full picture meaning to all of these new and full moons and, especially eclipses. So I just think that that's phenomenal. I did want to talk about one more thing, and it's this. It's the lines of these energies. Because when you study the gene keys, when you study human design too, you learn about the 6 lines. There's 1 through 6. And when we add to this meaning, the lines that everything is on, it'll add even more. So what is the first line? So the eclipse is happening at the first line. The first line in the gene keys is known as the creator. And in human design, it is known as the investigator. I think so. Yeah. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on that. Yeah, it's the investigator. Yeah. So what is the 32nd gate? It was the gate of continuity. So we are researching. We are like the detective that's trying to figure out how to keep this going, how to looking for all the details that we can find to understand the bigger picture, but really to understand the foundation more than anything else, because the first line can't live without knowing the foundation. They have this desire to learn all about the foundation, because that foundation is everything, right? So we are looking for the foundations in our lives that will help keep things moving. And then The North Node on the 42nd gate is on the 5th line. And the 5th line, and actually the South Node is as well. So the South Node is also on the 32nd gate, like the Sun and the Moon, but it's already on the 5th line. What is the 5th line? The 5th line in the human design is the heretic. And in the gene keys, I believe it's the leader. These names always like fail me, but anyways, I know the energies and what they mean. So the 5th line is about leadership. It's about being able to like take control, being able to like step forward and know what to do, especially in times of crisis or emergencies. It's having this aura that projects, out to people, whatever they, it's like you attract people into your life, and then they will project onto you like they want you to perform miracles for them. I've talked about this before. And interesting, Valerie, she says, my nodes are opposite of this chart. So basically, we are being called to step into leadership as we look to grow with the 42nd gate. And as we look to finish what we started, we have to do it through stepping up and being a leader. Whoa. While our, the Sun and Moon and the eclipse energy are activating both this investigator, like research. How do we keep this going? How do we, keep this thing alive? And then on the 5th line of the South Node, how do we step into leadership as we also are investigating the foundations that will keep things going? But it's about really stepping into leadership more than anything else, as we're being guided towards the North Node, where anything we start, we have to finish, where we desire to start new things, which is perfect because it's Aries. Aries is the spark, the fire that sparks the essence of the being into life. You can't go back after you create life. Like once life is created, it's there. It's like alive, And so we're sparking, we're searching for the spark that will guide us to help us set a new intention and to start something new. But we have to do it with the awareness that we need to step into leadership because we're going to have to finish what we started. So, dude, all of that was freaking amazing. I freaking love human design. So I hope that you guys also had a good time listening to this and understanding this eclipse through the lens of this amazing system. So thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for watching this video. I want to invite you again to join our global community and our Miracle Morning 30-day practice, start something new, and also to watch the videos that we've been doing live with Raven of Libra season 2023, all signs. So we split it into the different elements. So we did the fire signs first, then we did the earth signs. Today we did the air signs, and tomorrow we're going to do the water signs. So you can catch it live. Tomorrow we're going live at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, or you can watch the replay. The videos are already up. So just search for them in the history of the live broadcast on this channel and you'll be able to find those. And yeah, there's a lot of fun things that are coming up as well. And I'll be sharing more of that as we get closer to them. But for now, I just want to say thank you all. And I will see you all again very soon. Sat Nam.